Welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive.
Hey there.
Right off the bat, make sure you subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description. So, today our mission is to unpack England Rugby's pivotal July 2026 Nations Championship campaign.
And what a campaign it was.
Right. I mean, imagine starting a high-stakes summer tour by stalling out so badly that the world champions basically lap you in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was rough.
But then you end that exact same month breaking scoring records, silencing everyone, and just completely rewriting the narrative.
Yeah.
If you follow this squad, you know Steve Borthwick came into the summer under just a suffocating amount of pressure.
Oh, massive pressure.
Coming off that dismal Six Nations run with just 1 win and 4 losses, people were ready to write them off. But this block of matches turned into, like, the ultimate redemption arc.
It really was staggering. You know, when you look at the sheer mountain they had to climb in July.
Yeah.
To appreciate where this team ended up, you have to look at the absolute pressure cooker they walked into.
Oh, yeah.
They were desperate for a structural change. The media scrutiny on Borthwick was just intense, and the schedule was completely unforgiving.
Unforgiving is an understatement. I mean, it's like a sports car that completely stalled on the starting line against the Springboks, but then once they finally got the engine restarted, they were absolutely flying by the time they hit Fiji.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. Because the start of that Springboks match was devastating. I mean, they went down 17-0 in just 11 minutes.
Wow, yeah, 11 minutes.
Right. Tom and Dutoit, Cheslin Colby, and Curly Aronzi all crossed the try line before England even knew what was happening. And tactically, the Springboks used this really aggressive rush defense, so they just sprint up to cut off time and space.
And because England was playing with that slow, predictable ball from the rucks.
Exactly. The Springboks just swallowed them whole.
Right, so they did fight back a bit to make it a 3-point game by halftime, but South Africa just shifted gears and England lost 45-21. That extended the losing streak to 5 tests.
It felt terminal at that point.
It did, but this is where the turnaround happens. They travel up to Merseyside to face Fiji, and instead of that slow play, England's attack just exploded.
Exploded is right.
Yeah.
They took a 35-3 lead into halftime and finished with a 73-8 demolition. They just completely changed the speed of their recycling. Instead of taking like 3 or 4 seconds to get the ball out of the breakdown, they were doing it in under 2 seconds.
Which means Fiji couldn't even set their defensive line.
Right. It let England totally dictate the geometry of the field.
And they carried that right over into the acid test, which was Argentina in Santiago del Estero, always a hostile environment down there. England comes out firing, races to a 19-3 halftime lead, but then the second half devolves into absolute chaos.
On pure chaos.
I mean,
6 yellow cards in that second half alone.
6.
Yeah. Argentina stormed back with 3 tries, dragged it right down to the wire.
And Argentina actually celebrated what they thought was the match-winning try in the final second. Bautista Delgado crossed the line, the crowd goes wild, but it gets called back after the TMO spotted an infringement.
Thank goodness for the TMO.
Right. So England holds on to win 31-24. They finished 3rd in the Northern Hemisphere table with 2 wins from 3.
Which proves they have the mental fortitude to win those messy, hostile test matches when everything is just going wrong around them.
Exactly. So we have this incredible turnaround, dropping 73 points and then winning a dogfight. We really need to look at the architects of this new attack. Like, who is actually driving the system?
Oh, I've got some thoughts on that.
I bet you do. But before we dive into the stats and these standout players, I need to remind you to subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description. Okay, let's break down the playmakers.
Well, what's fascinating here is how the halfback pairing completely dictated the terms of engagement. Finn Smith and Jack Van Poortvliet. I mean, Finn Smith ended the campaign as the team's top point scorer with 30.
Wow, yeah. Second highest in the Northern Hemisphere, right?
Exactly. And Van Poortvliet topped the assist charts with 4. But it's their tactical symbiosis that matters. Van Poortvliet provided that lightning fast ball from the ruck, which bought Smith that crucial half second to read the defense.
And we have to talk about how they created that space, too, because of Seb Atkinson at inside center. Wearing the 12 shirt, he was kind of the unsung hero, acting as this perfect secondary playmaker.
Yeah, he was constantly stepping in at first receiver. And for those who don't know, the first receiver is the first guy to catch the ball from the scrum half. By having Atkinson do that instead of Smith, it forces those heavy tacklers to commit to him early in the middle of the field.
Right, so he's a decoy. The defense has to respect him. And that hesitation leaves a gap on the outside for Finn Smith to work his magic.
Spot on. And out wide, they had some absolute game breakers. I mean, Ben Earl.
Oh, Ben Earl was incredible.
Team high 43 runs. He's like a battering ram in tight spaces, but has the footwork of a center out wide.
Ugh.
Defenses just cannot plan for a forward who runs lines like a back.
And then you pair that with Emmanuel Theoboso on the wing. He topped the charts with 255 meters.
And he gets those meters by holding his width perfectly, just hugging the touchline. It stretches the defense so thin and creates those internal gaps for guys like Earl and Smith.
It's all connected. The wide positioning creates the gaps, which creates the fastball. Oh, and Henry Pollock getting a hat trick against Fiji. He was the Northern Hemisphere's top try scorer.
Unbelievable performance.
Yeah.
But, none of this backline highlight reel stuff happens without the heavy lifting up front. The workhorses.
Right, the guys doing the dirty work.
Yeah, Ollie Chessum was a revelation. Moving him to the back row completely freed up his game. He dominated the lineout and caused absolute havoc at the breakdown.
And Alex Coles, I mean, a staggering 53 tackles with an 83% success rate. He's a brick wall. Plus that front row of Ellis Genge, Jamie George, and Joe Hayes, giving them that unshakable scrummaging platform.
A brilliant platform, yeah.
But I have to stop you here and push back on something.
Okay, go for it.
Look at the minute totals. Ollie Chessum played an astonishing 240 minutes across 3 brutal tests. Steve Borthwick hardly rotated his squad at all. Isn't playing your core guys that much an incredibly reckless gamble with their health?
Well, it's a fair challenge. Player welfare is always paramount. But from a purely tactical standpoint, that lack of rotation was exactly the medicine this team needed.
Really? Just playing them into the ground?
Think about the Six Nations squad like an orchestra where everyone had a different sheet of music. You can't install a high-tempo attacking system if you swap out the musicians every single week.
Oh, I see. So the physical risk was a calculated cost to get that tactical cohesion.
Precisely. By keeping the core unit out there, Borthwick forced them to learn each other's timing and nonverbal communication under real pressure. That consistency is why the attack clicked, and paid off defensively too.
Because they trust each other more.
Exactly. Playing the same unit let defense coach Richard Wigglesworth massively upgrade their cohesion. They trusted the guy next to them to make the tackle, so they stopped overcommitting and leaving gaps.
Okay, the logic makes sense. The chemistry is locked in, the attack is roaring, defense is firm. But there is one massive issue left if they want to be truly elite.
A discipline epidemic.
Yes, they have to cure this discipline issue.
It's the one undeniable negative from the tour. Across 3 tests, they conceded 34 penalties. That's an average of 11.3 per match, plus 6 yellow cards. It's a severe structural vulnerability.
And this is just a nasty hangover from the Six Nations.
Exactly the same pattern. In the Six Nations, they had 55 penalties, roughly 11 a match, plus 7 yellows and a red. And the real problem is how they concede them in rapid succession.
Strings of penalties.
Yeah. You give away an offside, the opposition kicks for touch. You defend the line out, but someone gets isolated and gives away a breakdown penalty. Suddenly, in 90 seconds, they've marched 60 meters down the pitch and are camped on your try line.
Which nearly cost them the Argentina game.
Exactly. You just cannot hand that much premium territory to top teams and expect to survive.
So, I look at those numbers, and I know it sounds counterintuitive to celebrate a discipline problem, but I don't see this as a reason to be down on the squad. I see a massive opportunity.
How so?
Think about the math. They finished 3rd in the table. They put 73 points on Fiji. They beat a tough Argentina team in South America. And they did all of that while essentially playing shorthanded, defending with 14 men, and giving up 11 penalties a game.
That's true.
If they are this lethal, playing chaotic, undisciplined rugby, imagine what they'll do once they clean up the penalty count. A disciplined England team is going to be terrifying.
That is a brilliant way to frame it. The hardest parts of modern rugby, the conditioning, the tactical framework, the attacking flair, those are in place now. Fixing discipline is just about micro-adjustments. Focus, better decision-making when fatigued. It is highly fixable.
And when you synthesize this whole July campaign, that's the main takeaway. Borthwick and the squad ripped up the failing Six Nations playbook. They proved they can win with this highly entertaining attacking style. They've completely changed the narrative from a crisis to just immense promise.
They absolutely have. The foundation they laid sets up an incredibly compelling autumn schedule.
Definitely. And we want to know what you think about this campaign. Drop down into the comments and let us know your thoughts on England's redemption arc. Who were your standout players? And how do you think Borthwick can finally fix these discipline issues before the next block of tests?
And as you head to the comments, I want to leave you with one final thought to ponder. We just watched Jack van Poortvliet, and Finn Smith prove they can absolutely run the show and execute a slick new game plan under intense pressure.
Yeah, they were brilliant.
So does this permanently change the hierarchy of England's squad heading into the next international window? Have we just witnessed a definitive passing of the torch at the halfback positions?
Man, that is a massive question, and I cannot wait to see how it plays out in the autumn. Before we go, a final reminder to subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description. Thank you for listening to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive, and we'll look forward to you listening to our next